content left.
Mm.
And that's what's better. Yo, so I'm taking the. I wasn't really listening too much, but I don't know how do you like the update?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
We don't talk about it anymore.
I wasn't. Here's the thing. I wasn't surprised by the update. I knew what was coming, but I was hoping that, right, like while we were talking about it during our Fortnite matches, that like it was going to bring more. Before we actually saw it and heard this patch, I was hoping that it was going to be more than just like if you have it, if you have the armor, you have it already, kind of thing. I was hoping that. I was hoping that I had to go back into a raid and get that stuff. But it's not that way. I have all the gear. I have all the weapons that I use, right? And it's just it doesn't make me want to go back into the raid. It doesn't make me want to go into that and go get that stuff.
That is what
and it sucks because if this stuff was in the game already,
it would be more fun.
We wouldn't be having this issue because you know why? We would have been getting new stuff versus stuff that we should have had already. No?
Yeah. They pretty much fucked up already there. Honestly, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's just it's unfortunate. They're playing catch up.
They're playing catch up. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it.
And you can't play catch up and keep your old
community,
the community, like as big as it was, and like it's so frustrating because people say, oh, the community's still here and all this stuff. Yeah, there's a small community when you look at the numbers of people actually playing the game that's online, concurrent players at one given time, Twitch. It's like, man, like, come on, like, it's not even half. Like, more than half of it is gone. Like,
yeah.
There's gotta be
hell yeah, Jake. It is, man.
And the point I'm trying to make is at some point Bungie's got to see these patterns, right? Like they got to see them and do something about it, right? Like you would think. Like I don't know. That's what's hurting me the most.
Yeah.
Is like I feel like they're seeing all this drop off, and they're just continuing on the path that they set out, because that's the path they set out, and they're being stubborn and they're being hard-headed and they're just going to do it that way.
Yeah.
I feel like they're not. I don't know.
So Sweden Beast said he asked Broman why he left Destiny, or is leaving, or whatever, left Destiny, whatever. And he says the same thing. Just playing games for fun, and D2 is not fun right now. Exactly. Yeah. There is nothing. Yeah, there is nothing for me to do inside of Destiny.
No, we got it all already. Yeah. So,
like, you know what? One of my things that I noticed too, back when PC finally got Destiny, is Summit 1G, Lyric, all these people were playing it. They were having a good time. It was fun for them. But when they realized that the first DLC you had to buy to get, they're like, the game's only been out for 4 months. Why am I already getting a DLC? Like you're locking me behind a paywall. You're locking me behind a paywall already. Like they're like, I'm not gonna play this, and like to us, we're familiar with that. Like we got it. We get the game in September, and we got Dark Below and now Curse of Osiris. But it's just like I mean I totally get it. It's like, why am I gonna pay for a DLC that, like, for me this first part didn't sell me very hard.
And what's frustrating is I was just talking to Jor about this. Is there's people who
I agree, Heidel.
Like, part of the community, a huge part of the community just didn't see it, and it's unfortunate. And those people are the same people who got upset when others were saying, "Oh, why are you giving free gear through clans to people, or why are you, just giving gear to people without them doing the content and stuff? Like, that should be earned. People should be able to, like, have to do the content, And then those people now are like saying, "Well, there's not enough content. There's nothing to do anymore. I'm bored." Where were you when you were complaining about others saying, look, this shouldn't be this way because you're running out of content? If you're just given the content, there's nothing else to do. What's frustrating to me is just like so many people just didn't see that and connect it and defended it. And now they're the same people that are now saying, well, there's no content. I don't want to play anymore. Like,
one.
That's a problem.
So one. Yes, we're done with D2 already, and the reason why Rusty is, I think, for me as a whole, I said this earlier, but I should have went into the update glass half empty versus glass half full. I was mentally going in and be like, this is gonna be okay. We're gonna have a good time. Oh, sweet, we got perks and stuff. But when I went into it, it's like, if you had raid armor already, you have the perks. Yeah, I'm assuming you can go into the raid and get different mods maybe, but it doesn't make me want to play. I feel like if I had the raid armor already, I would rather go into the raid and get new armor to have the perks versus, oh, by the way, if you had armor before the update, those are all the perks. So then I have all the perks already. Exactly. Boom, Draven. That's it. I think for me, if I had the raid armor already before, it would have gave me something to go after and get if I had to go into the raid and go get those armor and those weapons again. And that's what I'm missing.
Same. I missed something to go after.
They're talking about bringing D3 because they know they fucked up on D2. Dude, there's no way. If they rush D3 right now, that game is gonna be way worse than D2.
Yep. If they do it, the franchise is already over in D2. Sorry, but this is the hard truth right there.
Welcome to the photo bombers.
I'll tell you why I find that unlikely, and if they are, they're making a huge mistake because there's already reports that Activision is already under profit because of D2.
Yeah, they ruined themselves with D2 release.
Like
pretty much money-wise.
Under profit, they're still making a profit. They're just under profit margins that they were expecting.
Yeah.
Because if you look, Destiny 2 was the biggest title that they pushed out this year.
Mm-hmm.
Or for this year.
Last year.
No, I know they pushed it out last year, but for 2018. This is supposed to be a 2018, long time, just like Destiny was, right?
Yeah.
It lasted 3 years.
Yeah.
And they're already expecting Activision, not Bungie, but Activision is already expected to be under profit because Destiny 2, and they're not releasing any other major title like Destiny. I find it unlikely that they're already pushing for Destiny 3. If they are, I'll tell you right now, I can promise you just by trends of how Destiny is going right now that Destiny 3 will fail at launch. It just won't. It won't even. Like that.
There's no recovery now. They lost us all.
Draven, yeah.
Honestly.
It's tough, man.
I don't know. I think there's recovery. Look at Division. It took them a year and a half for them to literally get a game that 2 years for them to get to where they are right now. And personally, I feel like they are the Diablo shooter. They are the Diablo third-person shooter.
But then again,
and I personally think it's amazing. So.
But then again, the Division is something I love to do when I'm bored on the PlayStation because I have the game, I got everything, I can just jump in, have a few hours just killing random dudes trying to kill me, But Destiny is PvP, and PvP now is slow as shit. But you can't see the freaking.
I don't know, man.
What's the word for this?
I don't.
It's sad.
It is really sad because I said this before. Is I grew the channel on Destiny. I played that. I played Destiny for 3 years. Yes, we had droughts. Yes, there was towards the end of Dark Below, towards the end of not even towards the end, but closer to the middle of House of Wolves. Those were dry periods. But Destiny 1, year 1 before Dark Below, there was something to sign on and go grind and go get and push and all right, man, I hope I get the Vex Mythic class. Or I'm not even leveled up to do the VOG, but try to carry me. I want to do the raid. I want to get it done. There were people at 305 before the raid even dropped. That is not okay. That is not okay. If you want to make your game last, you have to make caps, even if there's people like myself or Tier 1 Gigs and Grenader Jake, when they are already at 305, I got to 291, something like that. Grenader Jake and Tier 1 Gigs were 305 before the raid even dropped. But guess what? That light meant nothing inside that raid. Light meant nothing. But what about the first year of Destiny 1?
Think about what you just said, though. Think about what you just said.
What? The light meant nothing?
The light meant nothing.
The light means nothing right now.
What does the light mean in Destiny 1?
A lot. But
literally
see,
everything.
But this is power level. This is the other one was light level, right? I think it was.
No, light level was in Destiny 1. This is power level, but it's still.
Oh no. Yeah,
Like,
I don't think it's over, but they need to this deal. Like I said this earlier, you might not have heard me, but this next DLC needs to sell me hard. Like no joke. Like you need to Bungie needs to sell me so hard that like when I see that trailer, when I see the new raid, when I see the raid perks on this armor, because I'm assuming this new raid is going to drop armor perks, right? Because now it's brought to Destiny 1 or Destiny 2 now. I think for me, I don't think it's necessarily over, but I just think they need to sell mega hard for people to come back, because I don't care who you are. If you play this game a lot and this has been a game that you have enjoyed a ton, it's not the same. It's not the same. Everything that you have played, it doesn't bring me back. I have everything. I have all. Unless you're somebody that doesn't, unless you're not a streamer or somebody that has, 6 hours to just play Destiny. Like for me, I have.
Doesn't matter if streamer or not.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. You guys see Facebook is trying to steal the broadcast market? Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, the only thing to say is I think Bungie can bring Destiny 2 back.
I agree.
I mean,
they just
did with the,
if they do the next DLC right, then there is a chance.
Yeah, and then and doing it right doesn't mean it fixes everything.
Mm-hmm.
Doing it right doesn't mean it's gonna get everybody back. In fact, it probably won't even get everybody back, but still do it right. It's gonna be a long process, but I think they can still do it. But I think what most people in the community are just upset with is not necessarily Destiny. I think they're upset, starting to realize and become more upset at Bungie's direction. Not Bungie themselves, but just the direction that they're taking, and or they've taken, and the fact that the emotions that you got, like on Christmas in Destiny 1, waiting to just wake up during your break and just grind on Destiny all day.
Exactly.
That loot, it's like it's upset because that feeling is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is.
And
totally.
I think they could fix it.
I log in,
but
I mean, I can log in. I can see what's up, and if I see anything I don't like, I'm logging straight off. I don't even care. There's nothing there for me.
I think one of the biggest issues with Destiny 2 as a whole has been the fact that everything, and when I say has been given to us, doesn't necessarily mean it's been given to everybody, right? So like you could be that one person, be like, "Why? I didn't feel like this was." That's completely fine. You're allowed to feel that way. But for me, I felt like exotics don't feel exotic to me at all. We have faded engrams. You're having issues getting duplicates. Well, don't worry. This week, Wizard will be here and he'll have a faded engram you can buy, and you're not getting that one exotic.
And you still get.
You get
and you still get the duplicates.
You get duplicates if you have all the weapons and all the gear on that character. If you switch to a warlock and you don't have that any gear, or like you're missing one perk on or one exotic on your warlock, boom, you're gonna get that exotic. So you got to be specific on what character. But the next DLC has to be the Taken King for D2. It has to be epic. It has to be solid, not perfect, but solid. Exactly. Like they need to make, I think not only do they need to bring back a lot more grind in this DLC, but they need to make it harder to be that epic player again. I think when we felt like these epic guardians within either PvP or PvE, I don't feel that within either. I just don't feel it.
The one thing I hope Bungie learns, and this is more of just a gaming industry thing that I'm about to say, but I hope the most important thing I hope that the whole gaming industry gets out of this, and this is, I guess, talking about EA too specifically, is looking at what Bungie did, and targeting what they consider the majority of their community and player base. I guess the casual. I hope they look at what they did, targeting the casual play, And borderline insulting their intelligence and assuming that it has to be too simple,
So simple.
not a little
So
too
simple,
complicated.
dude. So simple.
I hope they look at this and see the failure that they've done because, like, if you say, "Oh, well, they target the casuals," the majority of the community, well, they're wrong. Actually, targeting that majority, obviously, it's not the majority because the majority of people left already. But um, I hope they look at it, they learn, and to not make the same mistake. That's what I'm hoping because there's new games coming out. There's gonna be a lot more games just like Destiny.
Yeah.
I mean, just like Destiny. I think
Competition,
what's the one
man.
that EA's making that's coming out?
A, shit. It starts with an A,
I
doesn't it?
can't think of it.
It starts with an A.
I think
Anthem.
so, but
Anthem.
like,
Anthem.
yeah, like there's gonna be like Anthem and all that stuff. And I just hope when developers start creating these type of games that they just don't make the same mistake. They don't insult on their intelligence. They don't target the casual players this solely.
Solely.
Not like target the casual players, but just not completely. Don't revolve your game around casual players. Don't revolve around what people quote unquote call balance and don't make that same mistake because as much as a lot of people who are casual players complain about it, they still play because they want to get better. Because they want to be just a little bit better than they were before. We're humans. That's how we work.
Mm-hmm.
And
True.
the fact that they did, I just really hope the gaming industry looks at this, sees this, and doesn't make the same
Do the
mistake.
same mistake.
In my opinion, since I've been alive and looking back, I feel like Destiny 2 was the biggest upset in gaming for me at least, in the gaming industry for me.
I mean,
Because
yeah,
it came
I would
from what
agree.
was
For
Destiny
me,
1,
I would agree.
and then we got Destiny 2. It literally felt like I was on a mountain in Destiny 1, and Destiny 2 just brought me back like below sea level. Like I'm just in a totally different space.
I
and
think
it's just
for me when I first realized that Destiny was taking a different turn was when I started farming for gear. I started farming for light. I started farming for power gear, whatever. And all I had to do was farm public events the entire day. The entire day. I didn't have to touch strikes. I didn't have to touch Crucible. I could literally run around and just do public events the entire day. And I never said anything, but I'm like, this is silly. Like this has got to be a joke. Like I don't care if you introduce strike exclusive gear, if it doesn't reroll, it's not going to do anything for me. You know? And you bring in strike exclusive gear, cool. On my first strike I get it. Well, I'm done. And no, exactly. I remember seeing Guardians in the tower and thinking, I want that.
What a ready up and get in this.
Let's do it.
I mean, we can still discuss. I know you only have so much time, and I want to play with you. I want to play with you.
When I saw someone was at max light without the raid, I knew D2 was in trouble. Yeah, I get it, dude. BioWare moved Anthem release in 2019, which I saw. They said we need it to be right. I believe they are watching what's happening with D2 and other games.
Yeah,
they
did.
Oh,
yeah, they did.
I don't know if they are or not, but they better because if
They
they
did.
don't,
I can confirm. I was reading about it earlier today.
And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. What Triple Rex said is like with D1, we had 3 years of a learning experience. What was really good in the game? What was really good about the game? What was, maybe we shouldn't have that a part of the game. What's happening in D2 is we're trying to, they're basically making us relearn a game, and they're moving backward again. Like we had 3 years of a game that was basically a trial game for us. Then you bring in D2 and we're having that same experience. Everything is different. You completely changed the game. The only thing that's the same is the Guardians, the raid ideas, the strikes, things like that. Like there's no special weapons the same that they were. The raid perks are gone. No strike exclusive loot. No public private matches, things like that. You went so far left from your previous 3 years that it doesn't make sense. Like what happened?
Are you guys ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah.
You ready for this? No. Did you see where we're dropping?
Oh yeah. That is my issue. We